And the other product that we came out with, which is, I would say, the opposite of the Eros in the sense that it's the simplest product that we make, is the Cabli. And the Cabli is our only non-electronic product. It's pretty much a plastic wheel that rolls your cables up. So here it is on screen for
Wow.
people who are watching this on
Yeah.
video. And it just rolls your cable up. And the way it came up with this is that I was playing a show. I was playing a few different shows. And of course, I have a lot of equipment because I use the BeatBuddy, I use the Eros, I use guitar effects, I use vocal effects because I'm a singer. And all these effects and pieces of equipment I needed to wire up with all these audio cables. And I had like 7, 8 audio cables, and they're all like 20, 30 feet. And at the end of the show,
just
I'm
wrap 'em up.
I'm just wrapping them up. And it takes me like a good minute and a half, 2 minutes per cable to wrap it properly. And sometimes they get tangled, people step on them, they spill beer if it's like, late show, and you got to clean them. And it's just a huge pain in the butt. And it was taking me like 15, 20 minutes to put all my gear away. And I was like, this is so annoying. And then one day I was visiting my mom, and she loves gardening, and she had this big garden hose, and it was really long garden hose. It was on a wheel, and she was just like, wheeling it up.
Right.
And I was thinking, man, I really need something like that, but just for audio cables. And I looked online, and they had something for cables, but it was all like these really big things mainly meant for extension cables. So they're really bulky and, kind of way, way overkill for an audio cable, which is only usually 20 to 30 feet. So I designed the Cabli, which was specifically made for audio cables in the 20 to 30 feet range. So it's really compact, very small. And, it's intended that you just put one cable in each Cabli, and you just leave it in there. And whenever you want to put your cable away, you just wind it up, and it takes you 10 seconds instead of 2 minutes to just wind your cable up. And another advantage of it is that if you have a 20 to 30 foot cable, but you're only like 3-4 feet away from your gear, you don't need all that extra cable. So you could just take out a few feet out of the Cabli and plug your equipment in, and leave the rest of the cable nicely wound inside the Cabli. It's protected. It's neat. It doesn't take up space on the stage, makes the stage look nicer, not as cluttered and messy. And it's also safer because you don't trip on the cable, as you're like moving around the stage. You don't like break your cable. So it protects your cable, makes it last longer, as well as, of course, making it much faster and easier to put away at the end of a show.
That's brilliant.
It also, thank you. So I would say all of our products, I would say the common theme of Singular Sound products is that they're all come from a place of necessity. That's kind of how I come up with my ideas. I'm like, man, I wish I had something that was better than what's out there. And then I start brainstorming of ways of making something better. And I have many ideas. Only a few of them actually make it to market, but I think that's normal. You know what they say? The way you have good ideas is you have a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
And occasionally you're lucky, and some of them are good.
A couple of them has to stick, man. Yeah.
Exactly. What? Yeah. And the only way you get those good ones are just, you just have to keep on cranking out ideas. And it's a way of looking at the world. You just have to say, man, this thing is annoying, but what could solve it? Right. And is there anything out there that can solve it? And if there isn't, can I build something that can solve it? And that's how you come up with ideas that can turn into actual products and businesses.